Hello, this is Sinister Gambino here with a new video, and this video will be going over the leaked achievements and trophies for Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. So starting off with like the logo on top there, Grand Theft Auto 3, the Definitive Edition. Pretty cool thing actually I can see here is I don't think they've ever used red for the 3 before. But I think it's supposed to kind of be in reference to Grand Theft Auto and Liberty City Stories, how the Liberty City Stories text, I believe, uses like the same red or whatever. So it's kind of a little nice throwback to that, so that's pretty cool, for sure. And yeah, I think I know originally I did not say I was going to do like a leak video on the like trophies or like much of any like Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition like leak video. But I saw with the trophies that there's very particular objectives for very particular missions, so either they'll be highly missable or that suggests there will be a mission replay like option or something. So I kind of want to let people know that, so if they want to like practice on like versions released right now, they can do so, of course. But yeah, starting off, I'm actually going to go over a like notepad I have. It won't show up on the video, I'm pretty sure, because only one thing can show it at a time. But I wanted to also go over like trophy changes and then removals as well. Personally, when I was going through like my PlayStation 5, going through like the trophy list and stuff, I think I noticed like 5 things of Grand Theft Auto 3 and Grand Theft Auto Vice City that will not be in the Definitive Edition in terms of like trophies and stuff, as well as San Andreas. Some include straight up removals, some were renamed. And then there's objective changes, and then I think one in San Andreas is like kind of entirely reworked even. So I'll be going over those first. So if I don't talk about what's on the screen for a while, that is why. I'm going over vaulted trophies and stuff, and there wasn't really much of a thing I could find going over the removals and stuff, so I'm going off of my own notes. I'm going on a notepad again that's completely off the screen, I'm very certain. But yeah, starting off with vaulted trophies, I'll go over all 3 games right now, so that when I go over the trophies that are actually on screen, there's not much of like another break or anything. But going into some vaulted trophies and achievements, there's population control for Grand Theft Auto 3. That one was entirely removed, and that was waste 1,000 people. I'm assuming why that one was removed is because you will easily waste 1,000 people throughout the story, or even the 100% of the game. So I imagine that one was kind of a very automatic trophy, and there's already enough very automatic trophies in the game. Next trophy achievement for Grand Theft Auto 3 that will not be in the Definitive Edition is if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, except this one was actually renamed, so it is still kind of in the game, but it was renamed, and that's blow up 2,000 cars, which in my opinion is definitely going to be the most annoying of the trophies achievements in Grand Theft Auto 3. I think that's the one I don't have in the game right now, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I think the PlayStation 4 re-release and the upcoming Definitive Edition, that's definitely going to be the hardest one, no doubt. Next one was also entirely removed for some reason, and this next one's very weird in my opinion for why it was removed. And that's where we're going. We don't need roads. That one was removed, and that was for completing Patriot Playground, Ride in the Park, Multi-Story Mayhem, and Gripped missions, which are 4 like vehicular missions, or 4 pretty unique vehicular missions where you have to go in like a very particular like Patriot, or like I think one of them had like a Landstalker, and I forget much on the Multi-Story Mayhem, like what vehicle that one used, but yeah. That's quite unfortunate that they removed that one, because there's not really much of a reward for doing those in particular in the Definitive Edition version that will be coming out. I'm assuming why they removed it, of course, is because those things are also required for the 100%, and since there's like a 100% trophy anyways, I'm assuming they just figured might as well remove that or something, because it was pretty particular and whatnot. Something like that, I'm imagining is why they probably ended up removing that one. And then next one is Splish Splash again for Grand Theft Auto 3. That one was renamed though to Relief Pitcher, so it is still in the game, it's just under a different name now. And that was extinguish 20 fires during a single fire truck mission. And then the last of the changes for Grand Theft Auto 3 is going rogue, and that one was just an objective change. And that one was kill 20 criminals during one vigilante mission, but in the definitive edition it will be kill 15 criminals during a vigilante mission. So that one becomes slightly easier now. Going to Grand Theft Auto Vice City, I know obviously I'm not like on the like thing right now, but I'm going over like the vaulted, like changed, removed trophies in the game. So I'm obviously not talking about stuff on the screen yet still. But yeah, repeat offender for Vice City, that one was actually entirely removed. And that's attain 100 wanted stars. I believe I will be going into it later, obviously, but I think there's a attain 50 wanted stars, so they kind of cut it in half. So it's kind of a removed one, kind of not. Another removed one kind of for Vice City is straight to the dome. That was removed to perform 100 headshots. Again, I think similar to the previous one, there's now a, like perform 50 headshots instead of perform 100 headshots. So yeah, they kind of just cut that one in half for the definitive edition and gave it an entire like rename to the trophy in a sense. Next removed one as well for Vice City is going green. That one was destroy 100 road vehicles, which obviously that's nowhere near as bad as the blow up 2,000 cars with Grand Theft Auto 3, thankfully. But yeah, that one was entirely removed, and I don't think that one has an alternative whatsoever for the definitive edition. I'm assuming why that one was entirely... I'm assuming the reason why that one was entirely removed was because, like, destroy 100 road vehicles, that can probably easily happen within the story in 100%, so it's kind of one of those more automatic trophy achievements, I would say anyways. So because it's very automatic, I imagine that's why they kind of removed it. Next one is Did Somebody Call a Wambulance? This one is just simply renamed as Somebody Called a Wambulance. And the objective is basically still the same, complete paramedic mission level 12. Just a slight little rename. And yeah. Next and final kind of Vice City trophy change I noticed for that won't be in the definitive edition will be Chicken of the Sea. That one was Snipe a Seagull. That one's kind of interesting for why they removed it, because I don't necessarily know how easy that one would have been. But yeah. I don't know, that one sounded like a pretty fun trophy achievement, so that's kind of unfortunate that one was removed. And then finally going into changed and removed trophies for Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. The key to San Andreas is just simply renamed I Am No Buster. That's the one for unlocking all the trophies. That's basically the Platinum trophy. It got renamed to I Am No Buster, which I prefer way more, because it has more of a like in-game reference this time around, I'd say for sure. And then I imagine for achievement, obviously it's basically the same thing. On Xbox probably has like a lot of like G's value. And by the way, with these achievements, I don't think they're going to be on the like Nintendo Switch at all. I doubt there's going to be like an in-game way to earn it for the Switch version in particular. But I think like all other versions should have these achievements, trophies, whatever they call them. But yeah, second like trophy achievement change for San Andreas is Hustle Some. That one was entirely removed, it seems. And that was win a game of pool. I think they might have kind of replaced that one with a like basketball one that I don't think was in the original version. Of course, I'll be going into later in the video. But yeah, for some reason they removed the pool trophy, which is kind of unfortunate because now there's kind of going to be like no incentive to play pool in the definitive edition, unfortunately. But still, I think there's like a basketball one instead, so it might have been replaced by that kind of. Home Run, that was another removed one apparently for Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That's in the PlayStation 4 re-release, but will not be in the definitive edition. And that's Go Home with a Girlfriend After a Date. Though I think they kind of replaced it with a more like harder version of it, where you have to like go on a date with at least every single potential girlfriend at least a single time. So I think they kind of just made a better version of that one, so I'm guessing that's why they removed the Home Run trophy achievement for the definitive edition that will be coming out. And then next one, this one's like entirely reworked for the next one, and that's Assassin, so it is still in the definitive edition. However, the objective is way different this time. Instead of completing a simple stealth kill, you have to stealth kill all enemies in Mad Dog's rhymes. So definitely way better, I say, this time around. Because a stealth kill, you could also do that within like the first minute of the game or something. at least first minute in free mode, I would say. So having an actual good challenge this time around for the Assassin Trophy achievement, definitely quite welcome. And then Los Santos Slayer, though. Los Santos Slayer, that was entirely removed for Grand Theft Auto Andreas, that was in the PlayStation 4 re-release, but it's not in the Definitive Edition. And that was to reach a total kill count of 4,000. Again, similar to other kill count ones, that was probably a pretty automatic one by just doing story completion or even 100%, and even if not, it's not like much harder at that point. You could probably like literally just replay like Brown Thunder or something like that. And then the final like trophy change removal I noticed when going through the trophy list on the PlayStation 4 re-release and comparing it to the Elite Definitive Edition ones was Grove Street Warlord. That's removed, and that was captured for the territories. So I think the reason that was removed is because there's like a trophy now where you have to get all the territories as well as like $1 million and stuff like that. So yeah, that pretty much explains all the like trophy changes and removals. There were a lot of like image changes, and then I think San Andreas had a couple like small description changes, but I didn't really feel like bringing those ones up because then going over like vaulted trophies and stuff would be so much longer and stuff. But yeah, now to go into the stuff that's on the screen now that I'm done with the notepad here. But yeah, credit for all the image stuff here will go to Rockstar Universe. I'm using their little like infographics to show like what's new and what's not. And the way they did it is they have them all outlined in gold. I don't know if it's actually going to be like that in the final release, but they probably did that obviously so you can kind of differentiate them pretty well. And yeah, I'll go for all 3 sections, all 3 outlines in gold, not just Grand Theft Auto 3. But yeah, starting off with the first of 18 new trophy editions for Grand Theft Auto 3 in the Definitive Edition. There is Without a Scratch. And this kind of goes into why I'm doing this. Again, there's very particular like things you have to do in like missions and stuff this time around, which is not the case in the PlayStation 4 re-releases. So because of that, I do want to cover this leak stuff here for sure. But yeah, Without a Scratch, that's deliver Mike Lip's car without a scratch on first attempt. So you have to deliver a whole entire car without a scratch. As long as you drive pretty carefully, I imagine it's pretty easy, so it's not one of the harder ones. And then next new one is Escaped Artist, and that's use 20 police bribes. I believe there's get busted 20 times in the PlayStation 4 release, but using 20 police bribes, I'm pretty certain that one's new, because obviously there's gold around it, and that's like their little indicator on here. But yeah. That one should be pretty easy as long as you do like the vigilante stuff in like each city, because I think you get like 2 per like city. Like if you do like 10 and then 20 in each city, I think you get like 1 police bribe, or like in each island. I mean, and there's like 3 islands, so that equates to 6. So that should be super easy as long as you do all the right stuff. For a new one is Mob Boss for Grand Theft Auto 3. Keep the 2 Mafia members alive during triads and turbulations, or whatever that says. Might have been tribulations even. But yeah, that one should be pretty easy, I imagine, as well. Similar to the first one. You just gotta like highly protect the 2 like triad mafia people, whatever. Fourth new one is Planned Ahead, where you have to take out Chunky Lee Chong with a car rigged with a bomb. That one sounds like it might be more difficult compared to some of the other like mission specific like objective ones that they added this time around. So I feel like that one could definitely be the most difficult of those so far. But yeah, still, I feel it could be somewhat easy to do that one. Next new one is Got This Figured Out, where you have to use a coach to pick up all 8 prostitutes in the mission of Fuzzball. And that one's probably like a speedrun kind of strat, because I think normally if you use like any other vehicle, you pretty much have to make like multiple trips. I think they're kind of incentivizing people to speedrun that mission and like only have to make 1 trip for all the different prostitutes. So that's a pretty cool one there. I'm pretty sure you find like the coaches near like the taxis. I think near like the taxi place in Portland, I think it's kind of near there for where to find a coach if I recall correctly. Next one here is Come Out to Play or whatever, and that's kill 25 gang members with melee weapons and fists. And I believe the title Come Out to Play is kind of in reference to the Warriors from what I've heard, which is another like Rockstar game. It's like I think they made a video game adaptation to the Warriors movie, whatever, so it's kind of in reference to that. Next new one is Liberty City Minute, survive with less than 10 HP for 1 minute. That one shouldn't be too bad as long as you're in like the right areas, not with like a lot of like gang activity. Honestly, you could probably just like fall from heights and stuff to easily get to that 10 HP. Next one here is Full Artillery, which is use every weapon in the game at least once. Which for Grand Theft Auto 3 is pretty easy. I think pretty much every weapon in that game I remember has like its own like weapon class. I think it's one of the only like GTA games where you can own like the rocket launcher and the like flamethrower at the same time. So like for example, those aren't like classified as heavy weapons or kind of their like own slots. And that one should be pretty easy because there's not a lot of weapons in Grand Theft Auto 3. But yeah, this whole row here seems to be all old ones here, so I'll be skipping that all. Next new one seems to be Furious First Responder, Completing Paramedic, Firefighter, and Vigilante. Which I'm pretty sure there was individual ones for completing the 3, but I don't think there was one for completing all 3 of them. That's definitely quite nice to be more rewarded for those. Got any stories, old man? That's the next one. Complete Cipriani's Sheffer. That one's a very cool reference. Again, kind of goes into the Grand Theft Auto 3 like logo here. It's kind of another like Liberty City Stories reference, since obviously involves Tony Cipriani. So that's definitely a very cool new reference there. Next new one is Toxalive for completing all film missions. But yeah, I don't think all the film missions, completing all of them, had like a trophy before. I think only like the Turismo one, getting it within like 3 minutes, and then maybe like the Kingdom Come one had like trophies, but I don't think there was like a grand completion trophy. But yeah, next new one is Instigator, complete 10 rampages. It's kind of just another like tier of the Blood in the Streets one here, kind of. So it's kind of just a like halfway completion reward this time around. Next one's kind of the same thing, a massive fortune of 500,000. There was a massive fortune of $1 million here with the PlayStation 4 release before, so it's kind of just like a halfway point for that one. Next one is walking here, whatever, die from being run over. That one I could see kind of being a pain and pull off, but I'm sure if you know how to do certain things pretty efficiently, that shouldn't be the worst of the trophies, I would say. Next one I kind of went over when going over like the changed and removed like vaulted trophies and stuff, and that's Cheaters Do Prosper. That's blow up 2,000 cars. Unfortunately, that one does return. And according to the title, it sounds like you might be able to use the blow up all cars cheat code to easily accelerate the progress of this one. And yeah, going into cheats, I think only San Andreas has actually blocked cheats. When it came to the PlayStation 4 release, I think GTA 3 and Vice City, you could use cheats on the trophies just fine. So hopefully that's the case at least for certain trophies, though I don't mind for most trophies if they disable the use of cheats. I definitely would not mind that at all, but if it's something like blow up 2,000 cars, where it's already called Cheaters Do Prosper, I kind of expect to be able to kind of do that, quite frankly, for easy completion of that. So I think for very hard ones, it should definitely be allowed. But yeah, next achievement trophy that's new is Relief Pitcher. Again, this is kind of one I went over when going over like vaulted, like changed, removed trophies, and Relief Pitchers extinguished 20 fires during a single fire truck mission. And Splish Splash, which was in the PlayStation 4 release, is now 15, as I mentioned before. Next new trophy for Grand Theft Auto 3 is Fair Game, which is pick up Curly Bob in a taxi during cutting the grass. Again, similar to the Got This Figured Out one, I think that's kind of like a speedrun strat, because I think normally that's like a tailing mission or something, but if you like pick him up with the taxi, I think you can literally just take him right to the like destination or something. So yeah, it's kind of like a speedrun strat one there, so they're rewarding like speedrun strats there and also doing very particular things with missions there. So that one's not too bad compared to some other ones between these free games for sure. And then finally for Grand Theft Auto 3, there's Recycler, which is crushed 25 cars. But yeah, that's all 18 new achievements for Grand Theft Auto 3, and by the way, I'm pretty sure this game has 44 in total. On to Grand Theft Auto Vice City. This one, this time around, actually has the least trophies, whereas I think in the PlayStation 4 re-release it had like 34, so I think it actually had the most between the three. When it came to the PlayStation 4 re-releases, this time actually has the least. But yeah, this one has 13 new achievements. But yeah, first new one is born in the 80s and listen to all music stations at least once, which is definitely quite a nice one for Grand Theft Auto Vice City, because Grand Theft Auto Vice City is pretty much known to have like the best soundtrack between any of the Grand Theft Auto games. That's definitely a very cool one there. Next one is Irony. Quite a nice pun there, and that's killed a property developer with a golf club during 4 iron. Shouldn't necessarily be the hardest one for sure, I would imagine. Next one here, though, this one on the other hand, complete mission, not my first time, complete mission G Spotlight without falling from the rooftops. Yeah, good luck doing that one on a first attempt or whatever. This one especially makes me hope there's definitely mission replays. There better be a mission replay feature if they're having all these like very particular mission ones, because it's going to be like really annoying having to have like an extra save file or something for these missions if there's not a mission replay feature. But yeah, good luck pulling that one off. That one's definitely quite the annoying one, I would say. Next new one is Salutations, my little friend, and that's using the M4 to take out Diaz during the mission Rub Out. I believe I heard this one's a Scarface reference or something, like killing the like house owner with the M4 or whatever, the mansion owner and all. So that's definitely a pretty cool reference there, and should be a very easy one there. Unlike the G Spotlight one, but yeah. Next new one here is Don't Need Roads, where you have to hit the max speed in on Deluxo. Definitely quite a nice reference. That's most definitely a Back to the Future reference, where you have to go like a certain speed for the vehicle to like time travel, fly, whatever. And then, yeah. Before I go into the next trophy here, I do want to talk about Take the Cannoli a bit, and yeah, that one does return where you have to earn the Godfather criminal rating, and that one was like the most infamous one of Vice City, I'm pretty certain, in the PlayStation 4 re-release, and will probably still remain the most infamous. It will probably still remain the most infamous of the trophies achievements in the Definitive Edition as well. Because I think you have to make like $1 million or like $1 billion, and then you also have to destroy like shit ton of vehicles as well. So I was hoping it was kind of going to remove this one, because this one's kind of a very badly designed trophy achievement in my opinion. Like, I feel the Butcher one's already plenty for the criminal rating in my opinion, but unfortunately that one's back. But yeah. And if they do disable cheats, that one's going to be so much harder than it was on a PlayStation 4 re-release, I imagine. But yeah. Next one is Chop It Up for the new ones, and that's killing all hostile NPCs during the mission Demolition Man using RC Chopper's blades. So yeah. I know a lot of people don't like that mission, so yeah, that might be one of the more annoying, like very particular mission achievement trophies in the Definitive Edition. But yeah, in my opinion, that mission's not too bad. Maybe it was for me when I put it like years and years back when I was nowhere near like where I should have been in terms of age to play this game in the first place. But yeah, now that I'm within age to play this game for like quite a couple few years, it's not too bad of a mission in my opinion for sure. But yeah, that's definitely one of the ones that you should definitely keep in mind for how to do it, if there isn't any mission replay feature in these Definitive Editions. Next achievement trophy here is Offender, attained 50 wanted stars, which I kind of went over with the Volta Change removed ones. It kind of halved that one removed one and called it something else. Next one here seems to be Retro Luke, where you have to wear every outfit in the game at least once. Which, yeah, if it includes that, like, 100% outfit, you're definitely going to need 100% before you can even do this one, because there is an outfit, and that's exclusive to having 100% completion in the game. And then, next new one here is Break It Up, causes 500,000 property damage, kind of a similar one to one that was in Grand Theft Auto 3. And again, it's kind of a halfway point to the bull in a china shop here, cause $1 million in property damage. By the way, I think that one's a reference to Grand Theft Auto 4 with, like, the title here with, like, it kind of references a mission in that game. And then, yeah, target practice. This is another one I kind of hinted at earlier, where they just like have completely removed one kind of for Grand Theft Auto Vice City. It was 100 headshots for the PlayStation 4 re-release, but it's been renamed and now it's 50 instead of 100. And then these three as well are new here on the bottom here. Prime real estate, purchase all properties. Should be very easy for only a few 100% of the game. That shouldn't be much out of the way or anything. Vice baby, complete the cherry popper dealer minigame or sub game, whatever. That one you basically just have to like complete the cherry popper business, which I am obviously imagine is part of the 100%. And then bait distractions or whatever. For this last one here, that's hijacking a tank while alerting the army first or answer yes sir. I believe on that one you can like wait a certain amount of time and then like military whatever will go like get donuts or something like that. So I think that's what it's supposed to mention there or whatever essentially. So yeah, that one's kind of just teaching you how to efficiently do the mission, which is definitely quite nice to get reward for efficiently doing the mission. And then finally, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the definition. This one has 21 new achievements. And this one this time around has the most, I'm pretty sure. Because believe it or not, I think Vice City actually had the most between the PlayStation 4 re-releases. But yeah, starting off with a new one here with extra dip. Funny little reference there to the Big Smoke's order there for sure. Buy 8 meals from Cluck and Bell throughout the game. Very easy. Next one here, hooping it up, whatever. I did kind of mention this one when going over how like a pool minigame, Hustle Some trophy was removed, vaulted, and changed, and all that. You have to score 30 points, I believe, in the basketball minigame. That's hooping it up there. For a new one here, seems to be I'll have 2 number 9s. Again, very infamous reference to the Big Smoke's order on that one mission. And that's reaching maximum weight. Very fun one there. Next one here is Who Needs Directions. And this one's another one of those very particular mission ones, but it's not a bad one at all. That one's finding like Tryin without using any of the like kind of like hint things or whatever. So if you just like drive right to the Easter Bayesian airport or whatever, then that's basically how you get that instead of like going to like the construction site and all that. Next new one here, this one's actually just a simple like mission completion one this time around. Liberty City State of Mind, that's completing the State Market's Bistro mission, which is the one mission you go into Liberty City, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this one's with Army something here, because text I think is kind of blurry, at least on my end, and that's max all weapon stats. And yeah, I did try to zoom in on these images and stuff, but when I use zoom features, it only zooms in on actual Twitter, not these like image things or whatever. But yeah, that one's max all weapon skills. That one could be kind of a grind because there's quite the different weapons, and then weapons you can only have like one per class unless they change that up for the Definitive Edition for any reason. Next one here is They Can't Stop All of Us, and that one's actually sneaking into the underground section of like Area 69 without like getting alerted or whatever in Black Project. That one's going to be quite a pain, I imagine. I've tried like doing that before. I've only managed to do that like once or twice on the like PlayStation 4 re-release. Like obviously this one's new, there wasn't a trophy for that before, but I have tried doing that before. It's pretty difficult from what I remember. Because you can only snipe like 2 or 3 of the like spotlights even. And like there's quite a bit near the like area you have to go to if I remember. And I think you also have like a limited time to like shut off a certain thing as well, and then it like will come back online and stuff. So that one will be quite the annoying one, I believe. But yeah, next new one is Smooth Moves, which is perform a perfect dance routine. Hopefully this one's essentially just getting like the score you need for certain missions. Hopefully this one's a very automatic one. You don't really need like every single like movement in like a dance as perfect. Because I could see that one being very annoying if that were the case. But yeah, next new trophy here is Unlucky something here. That one's like winning 1,000 from the Wheel of Fortune. That should be a very easy one there, and that one should basically be automatic. You can also just like reload the game if you don't like win and whatnot, so you don't like lose your money and stuff. Next one here is not a player, and that's like the one where you have to take every potential girlfriend at least once on a date or whatever, so it's kind of harder version of that. Like one that I mentioned earlier was like changed, removed, and all that. But yeah, next one here is Assassin, which again was kind of mentioned before, because this one was like entirely reworked. It's like completely different compared to the one in the PlayStation 4 re-release. And that's stealth kill all enemies in the mission Mad Dogs Rhymes. That one should be pretty easy. I've done that one quite a few times, even on the PlayStation 4 re-release and on like PC as well. Next one here is a pretty cool reference here. Today was a good day. That one's like going 24 hours in game without breaking the law, like killing innocent people and all that. Again, I don't think it can be entirely seen all that great, unfortunately, because I guess like Twitter compresses images and stuff like that. And I tried zooming into them, so it's not like the greatest quality, I imagine, unfortunately, what I'm showing here. But yeah, today was a good day, obvious reference to the It Was a Good Day, like Ice Cube song or whatever in the game that's in the Radio Los Santos. So that seems to confirm that that's like radio station music will be returning. So that's not one that's like cut, because there will probably be cut music in the games, no doubt, if going off of previous versions of the game. Next one here is Ain't Nothing But a G Thing, and that one's like getting all the like game territory properties and then having $1 million. Shouldn't be too hard if you're already going for the 100%. I think you do kind of have to go out the way for all the game territories, because I don't think for End of the Line that you need all the game territories, only a certain amount, so you will kind of have to go out the way for all the game war territories. But the rest of it should be basically automatic if you're going for the 100%. Remastered here is getting the 100% completion. I think the other two games had 100% completion in the PlayStation 4 re-releases, but not this game. I don't think this game had the 100% if I recall. This one's a pretty fun one here. Here we go again. Aw shit, here we go again. That one's starting a new game after getting 100% on a like save file, so you literally just do a new game after 100% on a save file. Pretty easy. This one I kind of mentioned, of course, and it changed like vaulted ones, the Iron and Buster, unlocking all achievements. That's basically the platinum in the case of PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. Next one here is Sticky Fingers. That one's like getting $50,000 in burglary missions. The burglary missions, the problem with those though is I don't think that's required for the 100%, so you do have to kind of go out the way for that one. But yeah, earning the 50,000 shouldn't be too difficult. I think the best way to do that, if I remember, is like in the like kind of richer areas of Las Venturas, if I remember. Next one here is 81 Years Too Late. We're just spending 24 hours on foot or whatever in the countryside. And that's basically searching for Bigfoot, kind of, essentially. That's kind of a reference there. And 81 Years Too Late is actually a pretty cool reference to that, actually. And it's kind of been a thing they've referenced before as well, with like San Andreas and like Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare, I believe, takes place in 1911, and then this game's 1992 for when it takes place, so that explains the 81 Years Too Late part of it. I mean, there's probably way more in terms of explaining it, but that's kind of basically the gist of it, from what I know. Next achievement trophy here is Where to Go, and that's escape the police 20 times using the pay and spray, so that one's a new one, and that one could definitely be quite the grind, because me personally, I kind of prefer to use bribes or just like kind of losing them. I don't know, the higher one levels, I think in the older games, I think you kind of have to use the pay and spray, so that one might not actually be too bad. Next new one here, high as a kite, that's flying as high as possible, and like, or that's basically hitting the height limit even. And then finally, there's one last new one here between the 21 new ones for Andreas, and this will basically conclude this video here. And that's like a lot of grass or something. Unlock all weapons. Might have been lots of glass or something like that, because again, it might be pretty compressed on this Twitter image, whatever, so I'm not able to read it the best. But yeah, that is finally going to be it for going over all the achievement trophies, as well as like the vaulted trophies, changes, and like removals and stuff like that. As like a little kind of bonus thing I did near like the beginning for like the first 10, 11, 12 minutes, whatever. But yeah, that'll finally be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed.